Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This thing's on? You can hear it?
Yeah, but not very loud.
Not very loud. I wrote it. All right. Stay there. Narayanam Namaskritya, Naram Shiva Narottamam, Devim Sarasatam Vyasam, Tato Jayamadhiraya, Nastabreshu Bhadreshu, Nityam Bhavata Sevya, Bhavaitmasoke, Bhaktir Bhavati Naishiki, Krishna Sudama Bhagate, Brahmaganari Visa, Bhavnashadri Shamesha, Varnakadanarita, Sarvayanta Sarami, Shivavatamishite, Tarusamrita Shritasa, Anyasha Suratikate. And this is Mahaprabhu's prayers. Krishna Tuya Bhagavata, Vibhusravashrai, Prati Sukha Pratikshari, Narartakai, Premamaya, Bhagavata, Krishna Rishiyanga, Tate Gainayata, Govi Krishna. Put that in the bag over the next year. Okay, this is Saturday Srimad Bhagavatam class, October 12th, I think. October 12th, 2024, Radhakundam. We're on the first canto. We're discussing chapters 12. Maybe we'll get to 15 today. This thing's working? You can hear it? Okay. So one thing you can be aware of in these chapters, most of what we've been hearing about, especially now, it almost sounds like Mahabharata. There's so much description of Krishna's family members, the Pandavas, the Kauravas, the Kurukshetra, Bhishma, Bhima, Ashwatthama, Kunti, prayers by Queen Kunti, and Draupadi. So all these are major players in Mahabharata. So what I'm seeing now, because I read 15 chapters of the first canto, it's all so much intrigue, and so much diplomacy, and so much behavior, so much interactions of people of different ranks and different social positions. And there's exchanges and meetings of saintly people and kings, mostly kings and saintly people. Narada Muni, Shuddha Goswami, Shamak Rishi, Parikshit Maharaj, Sukadeva Goswami, Vyasadeva, King Yudhisthira, Vidura, Dhritarashtra. These are all the names and people we hear about. So we learn a lot about behavior and how people relate in times, old times, 5,000 years ago. The courage of the Kshatriyas, the wisdom of the Brahmins and sages, and how there was interplay between the kings and the saintly people, and mutual respect, and he took advantage. Like he describes the birth of Pariksha we'll hear about today. And like today, at the birth, so many astrologers, Jyotishis, a whole army of Jyotishis was called in to make forecasts about the qualities of this future king of the Yadava dynasty, King Parikshit. Who is he? Who is his father and mother? Abhimanyu Uttara. Abhimanyu is who is his father? Arjuna. And Draupadi, I guess. Subhadra. That's so Krishna's family too. Subhadra, Krishna's sister. So it's all inter-family relationships. So let's look at chapter 12, page 409. There's a summary here. It says, chapter 12 is called The Birth of Parikshit, who is the son of Abhimanyu and Uttara, we heard Ashwatthama, the son of Dronacharya. He was a Brahmin, but his father he taught fighting, how to shoot a bow and throw weapons and Brahmastra weapons. Dronacharya. He was an Acharya of fighting. ballistics, military science. So Ashwatthama tried to kill Pariksha Maharaj. But Krishna entered the womb and counteracted the Brahmastra and protected this boy, this baby, Pariksha. So it describes his birth in chapter 12. It says here, it describes how King Yudhisthira celebrated the birth of Pariksha. And we hear about his future from the astrologers. And he was quite extraordinary. You see so many verses in the chapter describe the qualities and characteristics of Pariksha Maharaj. Because ultimately Pariksha Maharaj is the main character in the Bhagavatam. Because Sutta Goswami is answering the questions of Shodamaka Rishi at Naimisharanya. But in the course of that, he describes the conversation that he heard between Shukadeva Goswami and who? Pariksha Maharaj. And when the beginning of Bhagavatam, Shukadeva Goswami describes how Shukadeva Goswami was born as the son of Vyasadeva, how he was a Brahmavadi, and how he became attracted to Vaishnava and personal conception of Bhagavan by hearing the Bhagavatam verses from the students of Vyasadeva. And he came home and he heard the whole Bhagavatam from Vyasadeva. So a very, very interesting story. So this described here. Sri Goswami is describing to Shanaka. But who is this guy, Parikshit, that was protected by Krishna? And so you can read, there's so many verses. And on page 411, it describes how in the womb he had darshan of Krishna. So an interesting purport that relates to the concept of meditation of Mahanidhi Seva. The verse itself, 112.7, says, we don't have our pundit here. Are you our pundit today? You can read Sanskrit, or you don't have the book? Oh, that's still inconvenient. Anyway, it's good practice. You're a good Sanskrit guy. 112.7, read the Sanskrit.
Matur Garpa Gato Veera Satada Bhrigunandana Dadarsha Purusham Kanchit Dahyamanostra Tejasa.
Oh, very good, thank you. Read translation too, buddy. Yeah, go sit next to your wife.
O son of Bhrigu, the courageous hero Parikshit, in the womb of his mother, burned by the heat of the weapon, saw the form of Lord.
Yeah, so this verse says that he was in the womb as a baby about to take birth, and he saw Krishna in the womb. So interesting purport. In Vishnu's commentary, he says, Krishna's first perception of objects by his mental eyes was a form of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. So this, I appreciate this idea that Vishnu says mental eyes. Mental eyes, that's pretty cool. We have these two eyes, we have mental eyes, we have spiritual eyes. When do you experience mental eyes?
Dream.
Right, that guy's got a brain. We all go, mental eye.
Meditation also.
But in dream, and right, these are the two answers. In dream, which is unconscious, and meditation, which is conscious. Both are mental functions, and both are engaging the mental eyes. With the mental eyes, we're seeing Krishna in meditation and in dreaming. Probably more in dreaming than meditation. You see more in dreams than when you meditate. When you meditate, you probably see black curtains. Because you go to sleep. There we go. Let's skip along here, see what else we can see here. You know, it's all kinds of, describe how everything became auspicious when Pariksha was born. And King Yudhisthira called in the Brahmins to give the forecast, what kind of guy is this going to, what kind of kid is this Pariksha going to be? They say he's going to be as courageous like the lion, be as famous as the Himalayas. He'll be patient like a mother and father. So I guess mothers and fathers are patient, right? Because they put up with a guy named Gopal. They're still alive, and they raise a kid named Gopal. That proves that they're very tolerant and patient. So the Jyotish, the astrologers, they describe particularly over many verses the good qualities of Vriksha. In other words, they read his chart. They gave a computer printout of his chart. Not exactly, but like that. Verbal printout. Verbal talk out, shout out, they said. Shout out. They gave him a verbal shout out of his Janam Kundali. And he'll be famous for all his good qualities, famous like Krishna. So he is determined as Bali. So we sometimes describe people. She's as ferocious as a bear. But she's as tolerant as the mountain. She's whatever. She's fiery as a thunderbolt. So he compared to different personalities. He'll be absorbed in Bhagavan Sri Krishna like Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj was always meditating on Krishna. He attained perfection by smarana. This is described in Bhakti Rasamrita. And then we go on here, page 421. So it says here that King Yudhisthira learned all about Parikshit, baby Parikshit, from the Brahmanas who were expert in astrology. So, although astrology is mentioned right here in the Bhagavatam, the Goswamis don't make any noise about it. They don't talk about it, positively or negatively. But this is where it comes in handy, predicting the future, giving medical advice based on your chart, and many different good advices can be given by a good astrologer. So it's not to be neglected. It's not to be criticized. But the real question is, where's a good astrologer? You find one? Good. You're lucky. But don't cross your fingers. Because most all of them just give a print out of a computer. They can't even make it sure what the secrets, just interpret it. It's so interesting, not only they told about Parikshit's good qualities, his family line and all his good qualities, and what kind of person he's going to be, they also told when he's going to die. That's pretty interesting. So they told him about the present, and all about what he brought, what kind of qualities he brought into this world from the past development, and they talk about the future when he's going to die. So that's the whole ballgame. Thank you. So what does it say? It says there. Verse 27, chapter 12, page 420. Parikshit will be killed by a snake, Takshika. So that's, everyone's hearing that. Guy's such a great guy, he's such a great king, such a great birth, such a great father. He's going to get killed by a snake. That's pretty strange. That's considered very auspicious. To die of disease or old age, or die in battle as you're going to get killed by a snake bite. Very unusual. Very curious thing. Yeah, guys are coming around. Should liberate the guy. Chant Radha and liberate. Gurudev said we can liberate them if they're attacking us. We don't go out our way to liberate. I go like that. But they're bothering us. Okay, bye, Jack. They didn't say run ready first. They just enjoy killing you. There's a little demon inside everybody. There's a little killer instinct inside everyone. It's called survival. What's the first law of nature?
Survival.
You got it. I mean, you live, I die, or I live, you die.
I died.
You're quick to answer that.
Yes.
Wow. That's a little scary. They're eternal, didn't you know? What's the verse of Gita? Natrevamjatu Nasham, Natranajananiva. So Krishna tells in the second chapter, never was there a time when I didn't like this, nor the future shall any of us see to be. So your eternal reality, eternal life is guaranteed. So he's telling you get bitten by a snake and died. Okay, they passed on the next subject. No one made any noise about that. It was okay. That's the forecast. And let's see what else is here in chapter. That's right it for chapter 12. And first, page 423. This again highlights the main things that we have here. The Bhagavatam is always talking about love, always talking about emotional exchanges. So we have to be a little sensitive and open to this idea, because the whole idea of Bhagavatam is to create a loving entity out of the reader of the Bhagavatam. The reader of Bhagavatam starts being a standard conditioned soul full of lust, anger, and greed, which are opposites of prema and love and bhav. But by the end of reading Bhagavatam, the reader of Bhagavatam, the devotee of the Bhagavatam, should become a loving, caring, sensitive, empathetic human being. So in order to bring about this transformation of heart and mind and character, the Bhagavatam has to show so many ideal examples of loving people. Kings and queens and Brahmins and gurus and acharyas and even businessmen and regular people. So there are many classic biographies and small descriptions of different exchanges between people, so we understand, because love is all about relationships and exchanges. Intimate and official and political relationships and family relationships and dealings of love and fighting, all kinds of things. Making love and making war. Like they say, all is fair in love and war. So you rip the person apart and bite him and scratch him, that's love. And you also rip the person apart, bite him and scratch him, that's war. So you have to know when you're in war or when you're in love. That's hard to know sometimes. This guy's really fired up. Really eager to get liberated. Right. Immersion Brahman. I have a little desk lamp I use for studying. While I'm studying Bhagavatam, thousands of entities are getting liberated. I'm just lights like this. I mean, oh, Haribo. Haribo. It's like hundreds of them in 1 hour. Bye. Oh, bye. Oh, ready. Hurry. Hey, I'm ready. Maybe he likes the Bhagavatam, I don't know. But he's writing me, not the Bhagavatam. Too crazy, man.
Is prima?
Yeah, it's in the kitchen somewhere on the shelf, I think, by the water bottles or behind there, I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're not really bad anyway, they're just teasing me. they're thinking about it, then they go, oh. Anyway, I got you guys do that. We can't all sit here fighting the mosquitoes. So look at this verse on page 423. Verse 35. Krishna was called to Hastinapur from Dwarka by Yudhishthira. And then the king, because Yudhishthira is getting installed as the emperor of the world, he wanted Krishna to be there. So they performed the Rajasuya sacrifice, which is in the 10th canto described. And they worshiped Krishna at the Rajasuya sacrifice. And then they installed Yudhishthira as the emperor. The Rajasuya sacrifice means to worship the most worshipful person in the assembly. So in the assembly there are many emperors and kings there, including Yudhishthira and Krishna, and many personalities. Shishupal was also there. And Shishupal thought he should be selected and voted as the most worshipful person. And he was especially envious of Krishna. But Nakul and Sahadev were chosen to pick the most worshipful person. And they picked Krishna. And then Shishupal became angry and started cursing Krishna. 99 times he made offense to Krishna. Because it was predicted that Shishupal would offend Krishna 99 times. But before he would reach 100, Krishna would cut his head off. So he was busy making offenses. It shows that you can get away with offenses for some time. That's one thing we can learn from this story. You can offend somebody many times and get away with it. Keep your head on your shoulders. At a certain point, your shoulders are here and your head's over there. You get your head cut off. Well, Krishna is such a master surgeon because if one drop of blood falls in a sacrificial arena, the whole yoga is nashed, it's ruined. So they're in the middle of a yajna, Rajasuya yajna, to worship the most worshipful person. So when Krishna was selected, then Shishupal said, I disagree. Krishna is this, that, this, that, this, that. You don't know what caste he is. He's a Vaishya, he's Kshatriya. One father is a Vaishya, his mother is a Vaishya, his father is a Kshatriya. What is he, All kinds of different things he said. And finally, Krishna goes out. But Krishna is such an expert surgeon. He threw his chakra in such a way, his head went out of the hall. And not a drop of blood dropped. When he cut his head off, Krishna simultaneously sewed up all his blood vessels, his arteries and veins. It was a clean cut, they say. Not a drop fell.
Nice.
Nice, huh?
Yeah.
That guy knows how. If you could get him to give him a shave, you got a shaver, Next time you shave, that screws to come down. That was pretty clean. I appreciate how clean, he cut the guy's head out with not a drop of blood. That's like when Indra put all kinds of rain in Vrindavan, the Govardhan Leela. Vishwanath's strides from some Purana. Krishna was at Dandagram. He had to run down to Anayor to pick up Govardhan Hill. He had to run down to Govardhan, village Anayor. That's where he picked it. It was raining like cats and dogs. Buried his treasure. The heavy rain, monsoon rain, it's raining cats and dogs. I heard that when I was a little kid. I went outside. I see cats and dogs. In India, like the local village, in the village of India, when it rains, they say it's raining frogs. Yeah. Like we had this little lily pond there where lilies grow. And after it rains, there's no frogs. I arranged this all. Roll, 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 roll. The frogs are coming. So I said, hey, there's frogs. And my children said, it rained last night. I said, so what? They said, the frogs came in the rain. I said, you saw? I asked him because I didn't believe him. And you saw? You know, but you hear? The last 6 months there's no, wrong. It rained last night, now today there's not a frog. So put 2 and 2 together. 6 months, no frog, kirtan. It rained last night, and then next year, frog kirtan. So therefore it means rain produces frogs. I know that's scientific, but that's our experience. Keep an eye out. Watch out next time. So, where are we?
In Russia, it's like rain, like from the bucket.
The expression.
Rain like from the bucket.
It means not much rain.
Like a lot, like bucket of rain.
Oh, buckets rain. Rain from the bucket. That's pretty good. Frogs come out too?
No frogs, no cats and dogs.
Cats and dogs come out. Cats and dogs come out of the bucket?
Frogs, cats.
Language is crazy, yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, let me just read this stuff. So what I was trying to point out on page 423, the Krishna went there just to observe the coronation of the King Yudhisthira. He ended up staying for months. Why did he stay there? To satisfy his friend. So this is what love is all about. Love is about satisfying another person. So right here we hear how Krishna is expressing his love for King Yudhisthira by postponing his return to Dwarka for 3 months. Amazing. Maybe 7 months. I don't know. It was a long time he stayed. So on one side he's pleasing his family relative Yudhisthira, and the other side his wives are frying out. His wives in Dwarka are fried out. He's not there for 7 months. That's how men are, you know. They're always laying down their women folk. Okay, let's look at chapter 13. Narada explains the disappearance of Dhritarashtra. So who's Dhritarashtra?
The father of Duryodhana and the uncle of Pandavas.
The uncle of Pandavas and the father of Duryodhana and 100 other sons, and the husband of Gandhari. Gandhari was a great Vaishnavi. The husband was demoniac. Not demoniac. The husband was influenced by a bad son. He was attached to Duryodhana, his son, and his son was very evil-minded, very greedy person, and very selfish and greedy, and envious also. Duryodhana was very envious of the Pandavas, especially Bhima. Duryodhana and Bhima were great club fighters. They were both taught how to fight with a club by Balaram. Duryodhana was better at fighting by a club. So that's why Balaram, when the Kurukshetra war started, he took off. He went on pilgrimage. He said, I'm going on yatra. I'm going on Chardam yatra. I'm going to go around India. So I won't have to take sides. Because I love Duryodhana, he's on the Kaurava side. And I love Balaram, he's on the Pandava side. So he didn't want to take sides. So he took off. Very smart diplomat. That's the quality of Kshatriyas. They're very good diplomats. They're a very good judge of Kala, Desha, and Patra, time, place, and circumstance. They know exactly what to do, at what time, and how to do what to do. That's what makes them kings. To rule people and govern people, they have to be very intelligent and very good judge of situation. That's why kings have so many Brahmin advisors. Alone, they're not so smart. They're a little passionate, quite passionate. But the Brahmins cool them down and give them cool-headed advice. They're always surrounded by 10 or 15 Brahmins, called ministers, right? Ministers of Parliament, MP. Pradhan Mantri is the Prime Minister. PM means Prime Minister, means Pradhan Mantri. The Chief Minister is the King. He's always advised. So Dhritarashtra, although he was very evil and did a lot of nasty things because of control of his son, he didn't give the Pandavas a rightful share of the kingdom after their father Pandu died. And he exiled them and so many things. He condoned all the wicked things that his son Duryodhana did. He condoned and sanctioned them. He never stood up for the Pandavas. But at the end, he died a great death. And that's what his chapter narrates. The death of Dhritarashtra and Gandhari. So you can see here, it says on page 425, Vishwanath gives the summary of the chapter. Vidura was the brother of Dhritarashtra, and he was avatar of Yamaraj. Also, it's interesting because they say Yudhisthira is also, they say he's Dharmaraj, but Vidura is Yamaraj. So maybe there's two aspects of Yamaraj. One as the punisher, one as the enforcer, upholder of Dharma. Because in the Bhagavatam, the 6th canto, there's a verse that describes the 13 Mahajans, and the Yamaraj is mentioned as a Mahajan. How does that verse go? Narada, Prahlada, Prahlada is one, Bhishma is one, Narada Muni is one, Vyasadeva is one, Bali Maharaj is one, and also Yamaraj. It's called Dwadasa Mahajan, 12 Mahajans, great spiritual teachers. Brahma is one. Brahma, Swayambhur, Narada, Shambhu, Prahlada, Janaka, Bhishma, Janaka Rishi, Bhishma, Prahlada Maharaj. So Yamaraj is a great teacher of Dharma also. So this describes how Vidura came to Hastinapur and preached to his brother he should give up his, spend the end of his life trying to attain God. That's what it says. He convinced him to give up the palace to go to the Himalayas. And Narada Muni appeared to Yudhisthira and allayed his lamentation. Yudhisthira was lamenting for killing all his cousins. All the 100 sons of Dhritarashtra were killed by Yudhisthira and his armies in the battle. And it describes the coronation of Pariksha as emperor after Yudhisthira retired. Like that. So let's see. What are the high points of the chapter? There's a very important verse here on page 428. When Vidura showed up in the palace, King Yudhisthira was the emperor, and he was giving shelter to Dhritarashtra because he conquered all his soldiers and conquered his kingdom. But this is Dhritarashtra's cousin, or I don't know whatever, cousin, brother of Yudhisthira. So he allowed Dhritarashtra to live in his palace. So when Vidura was the same person, he was a Kshatriya, but he renounced his bow and arrow to search for God. So Yudhisthira welcomed him and glorified him with a famous verse, chapter 13, first canto, verse number 10, page 428. This very nice verse. Babaji, you can read it there again, buddy.
भगवद्गीता भगवतास्तीर्थभूत स्वयं विभो तीर्थि कुर्वन्ति तीर्थानि स्वान्तस्तेन गदाभृता.
Yeah, Babaji. Read something.
O Master,
So it's used here glorifying Vidura, Master Vidura.
O Master, devotees like you are holy places incarnate. You purify the holy places because the Lord is situated within you.
This is the thing. That's what they say. There's another verse in the Bhagavatam that describes that what makes holy places holy. Why we say Hardware is holy place, Pushkar is holy place, Lalabad is holy place. Why do we say that? We say that because so many people live there. And so many people are always doing bhajan, and they're always carrying Bhagavan in their heart. Because so many people go there and absorb this. When people bathe in Triveni, in Lalabad and Triveni, at Kumbh Mela, it's not the Ganga, Saraswati, and Yamuna that are purifying the sins of the yatris and pilgrims there. It's the saints that bathe there. The saints are taking all the sins and digesting them. The saints have this power. And this is the verse that proves it. It says, they're Tirtha Bhuta. Saints are walking Tirtha. Tirtha means holy place, place of purification. That's why Yudhisthira glorifies Vidura. This applies to all divine devotees. Any great devotee is a holy place personified. And they purify the holy places because Krishna is in their heart. It's like if you have a dark room and you're carrying a big flashlight, big torch. Wherever you go, people will say, wherever that guy goes, he sheds light there. He has a big torch. So, but without the torch, he has no power to illuminate a darkened room or to brighten a darkened place. Because he has this torch he's holding to be able to light up. So the saints have a torch in their heart, a bright sunshine of Krishna. Krishna Surya Sama Maya Andakara. There's a verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Krishna Surya Sama. Krishna is like equal to the sunshine. Maya is like dark blindness, ignorance. Maya Andakara. Andakara means blind, ignorance, darkness, lack of understanding, perception, and vision. So seeing people are very valuable. Because they light up people's, illuminate people's consciousness and light up the world with love and compassion and spiritual wisdom. Very nice word. And then in verse 13, it's very nice. It describes the quality of devotees. What does it say, Renrika?
That verse 13 describes the quality of devotees.
I can't hear you.
Verse 13 describes the quality of devotees.
So what does it say? Just read it.
Oh Father, did you see or hear about our relatives and friends, devotees of Krishna Dayadus? Are they residing happily in
Wait a
Bharat?
minute. You're reading verse 13, chapter 13.
Yes, this verse. Oh, sorry. I read 11. Sorry. A merciful person. Forgive me. A merciful person, unable to see others suffer, should not reveal an inauspicious event arising on its own, which no human can tolerate.
The reason I'm pointing out this verse, because this verse of Bhagavatam, the Bhagavatam teaches many things, as I mentioned earlier. It teaches about behavior of a loving, sensitive person. So a lot of innuendos and indications are dropped here and there, but you're not reading half asleep. not awake when you read, you'll miss the point, you won't pick up the teaching. What this verse is saying, maybe you can't understand what it's saying. It's saying it's inauspicious to give bad news. Like for example, someone called me up once, and from Delhi, and they said, a great saintly person has died. You should call everyone you know in their article and inform them that this great saintly person is dead. I said, I won't do that. I said, I'm sorry, I can't do that. First of all, I know this person, a great friend of mine, and it's too painful for me. And second, this is not my duty. You're asking me to do this, but who I follow is Krishna and Guru. You're not my Guru, you're not Krishna. You're not an authority over me. I don't accept you as an authority who I follow, what you say. Because higher than you, because first there's Guru, there's God, then there's Guru, then there's Mother and Father. There's different authorities for every human being. But the ultimate topmost authority is Shastra. Shastra Chakshus. Chakshu means eye. Aksha. Aksha means eye. Shastra Chakshu means we see the world through the eye of Shastra. We make judgments and decisions through the teaching of the Shastra. And we live by the teaching of the Shastra. So the Shastras say it's inauspicious and one should not be a conveyor or distributor of bad news. For example, if your mother dies and you're living with your mother, you have to call your brother to tell him. That's duty, not giving news. So hello, I'm your younger brother. I'm living here with our mother. I had some very sad news today. Last night, your mother died. It has to be done. This is necessity. But if you have an opportunity not to give bad news, but generally an interesting thing, like we like to, like knock all of us together. We also like to talk about bad news. Like whenever there's a car accident on the road, you just close your eyes and drive by, People drive really slow. They're like, oh, there's the guy's head, there's his nose, there's his leg. People usually go slow and watch. Like they don't say, Krishna, please help this soul and just keep driving. We're attracted to death and all these kind of crazy things, but it's not good. So I wanted to point this out because this is a teaching of morality and a teaching of sadachar. In first Canto, chapter 13, verse 13 is teaching some sadachar. Is that a merciful person can't bear to see other people suffer, and he should not give bad news. What does it say? He should not reveal inauspicious events arising on his own. So you should put it in simple English, you should not distribute bad news. I gave you the Shastric injunction. I gave you a practical example of my own life. Someone called me up and say, tell everybody there, no thanks, you do it. I don't want to be
What will
involved.
happen if someone, like a person who spreads the bad news, he accumulates some bad karma?
If someone is so focused about spreading bad news, will he accumulate bad karma?
Yes. What goes around comes around. What goes up must come down. Human beings have a duty. The duty is human beings are supposed to be guardians and distributors. Human beings are, it says in the Bible, human beings are made in the likeness of God. What does that mean? It's right from the Bible. Human beings are made in the likeness of God. In other words, God doesn't look like a dog. He created a dog, but he doesn't look like it. God has a human face and human arms and legs. It's like, he's Krishna. Ramchandra, Vishnu. Java, whatever you call him. But he's human form. So man and women, human beings, are made in the image of God. That means not only physically, but metaphysically, emotionally, and compassionately, they're supposed to be walking gods. It says in the Bible, human beings are the crown of creation. There's creation and there's a crown. There's 8,400,000 species of life. On top of all those species, human beings. The human beings are supposed to represent God. Brahmins are the mouth of God and the brain of God. The Brahmins eat on behalf of God and they speak on behalf of God. They speak the words of God, so they're godly God men. They say God men, God women. It's a big responsibility to be a human being. You have to know the rules of conduct, the rules of behavior. That's called Varnashram Dharma. There's 20 different Dharma Shastras in the Vedic compendium. The compendium of Vedas, there's 20 Dharma Shastras. One is Manusmrita. Everyone's heard of Manusmrita. Law Book for Humanity. There's 19 other Dharma Shastras that how to behave, what to say, what not to say, how to behave. So the first thing that's taught in any human culture, society, that has any basis in Vedas is behavior. What your mother and father teach you from day one, how to behave. Don't spit on your grandfather. Your mother was smiling. Don't sit on my father, you jerk. Like my brother and I, we used to like to speak dirty words. We had 3 brothers, so we would practice on each other. And sometimes when some uncle or something would come over, we would say, tell him a dirty word. If my mother was there, she'd say, go to the bathroom and wash your mouth out with soap. If you spoke a dirty word. I said, well, what do you mean? She said, I'll show you. She take me to the bathroom and put soap in my mouth. Open your mouth and put the soap in my mouth. I'll tell you the truth. On the bar, I threw it about it. So she said, go wash out your mouth. So I go to bed and throw the water big door. Come out. It's not doing that. You throw some soap around the thing, Go out. You want to? Yeah. So not only did I tell 3 words on the lie. I lied to cover up my dirty words. A lot of times, my mother became the rod of chastisement. And she went into the bathroom, put this over your mouth. It's not nice, I don't like it. It's not like, mouthwash or something, Peppermint flavor, mint flavor, it's not. Soap is soap, So I had a tough upbringing. But that's why I came clean. I just remember that. That's really funny. That was way back in the memory bank. There you want to forget that one. Okay, so Vidura stayed for some time to preach to Dhritarashtra. So some people ask the question, how did Yamaraj become born on Earth planet as Vidura?
He got a curse.
He was born as a Sudra, actually. He wasn't a king. He was born as a Sudra. I think his father was a king and his mother was Sudana, some sort at his birth. But he was cursed. It was the curse of Mandavya. I don't know how to deal with here. Okay. Here, Vishnu tells a commentary on page 430. One time, some soldiers were chasing some thieves. They caught them near a rishi named Mandavya, who was performing tapasya. See, what happened was these thieves were being chased by the king's soldiers. So the thieves ran into the ashram of Mandavya Muni and sat next to him. He had his eyes closed. He was in austerity. So when the king's soldiers caught up, they saw Mandavya surrounded by all the thieves. So they tied up the thieves and the rishi. They thought he was a kingpin, but he was the godfather. They tied up the rishi and the thieves were brought to the king. So they were all killed. The king recognized Rishi. He said, wait a minute, don't kill him, he's a Rishi. And everybody has beards, you know. Rishi have beards and thieves have beards also. They don't know who's the thief. One time, Narayana Maharaj was preaching in America. He had beard also, Chaturmanshi. He said, I haven't come here to ask anything. I'm not coming here to ask any money to build a temple or an ashram. I don't want any life members and all that kind of stuff. But I came here as a thief. I came here as a thief. I came here to steal your hearts. I realize it's really nice. Thanks for you, America. I came here to steal your hearts. I'm going to take all your hearts and put them on a make it all the flowers of your hearts. I'm going to put them on a string and make a beautiful mala, a heart garland. And I'm going to go back to Vrindavan to my temple of Mathura and offer to Radharani. Everyone, die. Steal my heart, steal my heart. So these weren't the kind of thieves. So the king recognized the sage. So wait a minute, don't kill this guy. Now the sage finally, he after he was there arrested by the king, he went to Yamaraj. He was very angry with Yamaraj. Hey, look, Yama, man. Look, Yamaraj. I'm a big rishi. I almost got shot, almost got hung by all these thieves. What's going on? I was almost, actually, how these thieves were killed by the king. They had bamboo stakes. They had bamboo stakes like swords in the ground, and they take them up on a high platform and throw them off, and they die. So they were throwing off all these thieves, and they were being poked by these swords and dying. And the king saw the sage up there about to be thrown on top of the swords. He said, bring him down. So the king went down and said, why, I was almost thrown on the swords. Yamara said, "You maybe forgot, but I never forget." I have my witnesses everywhere recording. When you were a little kid, before you were a big sage, you know, you were a little baby, you're a little brat, and you caught a grasshopper, and you took a piece of kusa grass, and you pierced it through the body of that grasshopper. You killed that grasshopper. Put a piece of grass through his body, like a straw. So the reaction for that, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. So you kill that grasshopper. So you were destined to be killed in the same way, of a sword poked through your body. So when the sage heard this, he cursed Yamaraj. He's not a small-time guy, but since you punished me so severely, although I was an ignorant boy at the time, you will become a Shudra. So Mandavya Muni cursed Yamaraj to become a Shudra. He was born as who?
Vidura.
Vidura, thank you. Vidura is the brother of who?
Dhritarashtra and Pandu.
Dhritarashtra and cousin of the Pandavas. That's the Vishnu's commentary. Pretty interesting. So what's the moral of the story? Don't play with grass. Don't play with grasshoppers. That's 3 chapter 13. Well,
Devotees of the Lord get some more arrangement to serve Lord in different ways.
Yeah, right.
Even Kashyap has become a blessing for Vidura to spend time with Lord.
Yeah, you got it, good
No
deal.
sound.
Stay here. It's not working? No, it's not working. It's on off sometimes. This is on, but the finger's not working. Just press it on and off or something. Right. Shot. Is you getting power there and you're
It's
charging?
off here. It's off here. It doesn't bother. It doesn't bother here. None of this.
Is it on now?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay. Right. Hear anything? Right, Sean. Oh, now it's on. Thank you. Okay. So this is, now Vidura is the brother of Dhritarashtra. So he's preaching to him. So he said, listen, your father, your brother, your friends, all your sons have been killed. You're an old man, and you're living in another person's house. So it's not good to live in another person's house. You were blind from birth. Now you're deaf and weak. Your mind doesn't work. Your teeth are all broken. Your digestion is weak. Your body is full of mucus. Still you're attached. The desire to live is so strong among all creatures. Although, like a dog, you're taking a food given by Bhima. So Bhima was giving him food, and Bhima killed his son, Duryodhana. The guy who killed your son is feeding you. That's pretty pinching. What is the use of your life? Being maintained by food given by those you tried to burn and poison, whose wife you insulted, whose land and wealth you stole. It's a pretty heavy brother, huh? Then Vidura goes on and says, you should go to the Himalayas and worship Krishna now at the end of your life. So Dhritarashtra, he was such an evil-minded person, siding with his evil-minded son Duryodhana. He was enlightened by his younger brother Vidura. Page 436. So he and his wife went to the Himalayas. That's pretty cool. Nice point on page 437. Look at verse 30. Commentary. 437. It says, although Gandhari and her husband, blind husband Dhritarashtra, were suffering in the Himalayas, Krishna says, the suffering of tapasya and austerity are actually a cause of great joy for those who have enthusiasm. So I think Bryn Regal will like this phrase. She'll memorize this for nice commentary. So when you're fasting and suffering, you're enthusiastic about your fasting. Yeah, you'll take that suffering as a cause of joy. It's just like even a warrior is young, he's excited to fight. He likes to get in a good fight. So someone who devotee likes to do austerity, when he has a chance to do austerity, he gets excited. And every time he goes, he gets really excited. It gives her a chance to not drink any water, not eat any food, stay up all night, chatting her head off. So it's nice. I did that austerity for 42 years. Years all it cost. I got a hard time. There wasn't my father had one, my brother had one. So it's a family disease. And I'm trying to scare you.
No, I just can't. No problem.
But you can do it. You like to do it, it's good. Good thing. You get a lot of top of volume also, you get a lot of power. So you're seeing that also. You're getting a lot of fruits from what you're talking about. You're getting caves to live in, and rotis to fill your belly, and money to buy flowers. I'm good. Krishna takes care of the rotis. Yogashema Mahamyam. Sorry, Gita. So chapter goes on. Yudhishthira is lamenting. Narayana tries to console him. Look at page 443. Very interesting discussion about affection. Love, affection, attachment. Because of affection for husband and wife, mother and father, sister and brother, we have natural love and affection. We become attached, and we lament if they die, and we display all kinds of ignorance because of that attachment. And then halfway down through the purport on page 443, Krishna says, affection is a source of lamentation. His whole subject is, can you just hear us lamenting? He's lamenting because 60 million people are killed. Something like that. 30 million soldiers were killed at Kurukshetra by his soldiers. So so many widows were there, so many unhappy people, so many children without any fathers, so many wives without any husbands. But he was a very soft-hearted person, and he felt very affected by that. He was lamenting. So Narada Muni came to enlighten him. There's nice commentary, you can see there's two kinds of affection. There's material affection and spiritual affection. Like everywhere, material affection is bad and binding, and spiritual affection is good and liberating. That's what he said. Affection is the source of lamentation and the root of ignorance. Ignorance means maya, that which is not. Ma means not, ya means that. Ma means no, ma means no. Ya means that. That which is not means maya, illusion, ignorance, non-reality, temporality, bodily concept, death. Maya is not true. There's no such thing as death for the Atma. The Atma is eternal, nitya. So one who is wise doesn't lament for the living or the dead. Why we need it. So the root of ignorance is love. That same love is the cause of liberation. If you love Maya, you take rebirth. If you love Krishna, you get liberated. If you love your father, you take rebirth. If you love your guru, you get liberated. Both are older men. Guru is not generally a man, can be a woman also. Guru means senior. The word guru means senior. Guru Jan. Guru Jan can mean elderly woman, or elderly man, or respectable position, respectable, like a lay guru, or lay politician, or lay king, or lay queen. That's called Guru Jan. Respectable senior person. Jan means people. Guru Jan are always to be respected. This affection is generated from illusion in the material world. Mahajat, that's from the verse. Mahajat. Jat means janma, Maha means illusion. Mahajat. But there's also affection related to bhakti, which is not a source of lamentation. So, lamentation rising from bhakti is a sthayi bhav of karuna rasa. So lamentation is a form of rasa called karuna, compassion. It's most excellent. So we have Yaya Nila Prema Dana, lamentation and separation from Vaishnava. That's a form of loving compassion and love itself. We lament the separation. It's not the same. It's not a product of ignorance. It's a product of pure devotion. So the next verse here on page 444, chapter 13, a very famous verse. It basically says, the big fish eats the little fish. The weak always, the strong always defeat the weak. Hastani sastanam, avadani chatuspadam, phaguni chatramatam, jivo jivasa jivana. Human beings are maintained by animals. Animals are maintained by plants. The big are maintained by the small. One living being is food for another living being. So, like some smart aleck guys, swear out these like smart ass guys. They say, you're vegetarian, you're killing lettuce. You're killing carrot, oh not carrot, you're killing celery. We're killing chickens. We're killing cows, you're killing celery. You're killing lettuce. It's the same. On one level, it's right, but we're killing what we're allowed to kill according to Shastra. Anyway, that's a whole big discussion. But basically, we have to get liberated from sin. You have to offer your food to God, and God only accepts particular type of food. What kind of food?
Patram pushpam phalam toya.
I see that's Body 926, I think. 9 chapter 26 verse. Patram pushpam phalam, fruit, flower, water, he accepts these things. Leaves. Supposed to be. That's a fact, the commentary. Leaf means socially. So this verse is nice. I memorize nice verse. Hey, we had no playing in class. Can't throw razors, shoot spitballs. You have spitballs? No, that's not spitball. See, when I went to school, they served milk. It was a government program. Everybody bought it, their lunch. The government gave you a little container of milk with a straw. So you get a straw, it comes with paper. So you take your paper off, you make a little ball, you put a spit on it, put it inside. You go, and you spit it and it shoots out. It hits your girlfriend in the back of the head. So that's how they goof around. When the teacher turns out right on the chalkboard, you go. Poof. There you go. That's how we played. We're 10 years old. You playing that? No, we was a very good student. Where I came from, things were different. Not a fun thing to do. One time, I'm in this bomb, all the milk containers, there was 30 kids in the class, roughly. The milk containers were on a tray, a little tray, a little lip on it. And the guy would come in the back room by lunchtime and draw a tray of milk on an empty desk, right next to mine. My desk was there and the milk was there. So I take my pencil and poke all the containers of milk, and the milk was slowly leak out. Then lunchtime would come, you pick up the whole milk and slide out. Who did this? So the teachers, everybody's, the milk was flying all over the place, And the teacher said, who did this? Everybody knew I did, but everybody was quiet. So she looked at me because I'm right there. No, I didn't do it. I was really, you have to be good, lying, I learned from my mother. She was good. I watched her with my father. I learned from my mother. I learned a lot of good things from her, So I said, no. So the other people. Then she said, okay, look. If whoever did this, if they don't tell, everybody in the whole class has to stay after school for 1 hour. When the bell rings to go home, you have to stay in your class and do homework. So now things are getting restless, you know. So now what's going to happen? So, now what's going to happen? So she's walking up, so she's walking up and down the aisles. Up and down. So who did it? So somewhere she walked, someone said, so-and-so, my name, told the teacher. So she walked up like this, then all of a sudden she walked, came around, stopped right there. No. She said my name. Did you do this? Everybody, and I looked, everyone in class was swimming around. 30 eyes were looking at me. So if I say no, then we had to stay for 1 hour. Everybody's looking. Yeah. Okay. Class an hour, you stay. So then a long story after that. First I clean up the mess. Then I go to the principal's office and this kind of stuff happens a lot. Anyway, so like this, spiritual affection is good, material affection is bad. That's really a good idea. Okay, chapter 13. So Gandhari and her husband went to Malayas. Dhritarashtra and Gandhari went to Malayas. In an interesting way, he died because the Eurus gave a report. He said, I think Narayana, that's the time he used it. 5 days from today, your cousin or whoever, brother or whoever, will give up his body. He will turn himself to ashes. This is on page 450. You can see page 450. Narada described that Dhritarashtra had the power to burn himself up. So this exact same thing happened 150 years ago here in Brajmandal, in the verse called Ranabari. There was one Krishnadas, who was also named Sri Krishnadas, who had a dream. And he had a desire. He was a Gaudiya Vaishnava doing Raghavana Bhajan and Manjri Bhavapasana, meditating as Manjri Sru as a servant of Radharani, Krishnadas. But he had a desire to go to Dwarka. He wanted to go on yatra to Dwarka. So he had Radharani appear to him in a dream and said, don't leave Brajmandal. I will give you my mercy so that you live in my holy kingdom of Vrindavan. Don't give it up. So he said, that's just a dream. That's not so important. So he left Vrindavan, went to Dwarka. He got a conch shell and a chakra branded with hot iron, marked in his shoulders like a tattoo. And he came back to Ranabari Gaon, which is near Suryakund, here near Gauranga, to do meditation on Leela in his spiritual body, Siddhaswrupa. He couldn't see the Leela, he couldn't get access to the Leela. So then he asked different devotees, he asked Sri Krishna from Gauranga, he said, what should I do? He said, you've been rejected by Radharani. Now you're a member of Rukmini's camp. Because you've gone to Dwarka, you've got marks of Dwarka, Chakra, and Kancha. So now you're a member, you're no longer a member of Radharani, Sakhigan. Now you're a member of Rukmini, or Queen Rukmini from Dwarka. So he was this Krishnadas was very upset by that news. And he felt his life was a failure. So he sat in yogasana. So he gave his body up by a process they call yogagni. Yogagni, because my Guru, they described it like that, yogagni. That he, by fire in the body, increased the fire of his body, and his body burned up. So that's exactly how Dhritarashtra left his body in Maya. So he was in a house, he was in a little cottage, a little kutir he made in Maya. He was burning up, while the house was burning up, Gandhari's wife, of course, Dhritarashtra was blind his whole life. And his wife wore a blindfold, so she wouldn't be more than the husband. So when Yudhishthira heard this description, he told her, he said, I'll go to the Mayas and bring back Gandhari and protect her. And Narada Muni said, it's too late. As her husband, Dhritarashtra, was burning, Gandhari jumped in the fire and gave her her body. So that's a very extraordinary person. Gandhari is always considered to be a saintly woman. And her husband, although he was a very wicked, unfortunate person, following his rather unfavorable son, Duryodhana, his ending was good. He was absorbed in Krishna Bhakti and gave up his body knowledge. So that's how the chapter ends. So Vidura, after giving that message to Dhritarashtra to absorb himself in spiritual light, when Vidura heard that Dhritarashtra went to Malayas and attained the spiritual goal, then Vidura went on pilgrimage. Narada Muni, after describing all these events to Yudhishthira, went to Swargaloka, playing his veena. I guess he wanted to chill with King Israel. Well, he was dead. No, he went to Swarga to enlighten Indra. Appreciate it. Okay, what time is it?
4:40. 2 minutes to 4:40. 4:38.
Okay. Let's look at chapter 14. Chapter 14, because when something bad happens in the world or in the earth planet, there's usually some omens. What's the Hindi word for omens?
Hindi.
So Daiva something?
In Telugu we call Shakunam.
Bad Shagun. Hindi.
What's it called?
Bad Shagun.
Vacha.
Bad means bad. Shagun means signs or.
Yes, sign, bad sign. Yeah.
In Telugu we call Shakunam. Shakunam.
Bad signs, omens. So Yudhishthira saw these bad signs. He was the emperor, so these are indications. Like one sign is a ring around the moon. Have you ever seen this? I see it, sir, because people probably don't look at the moon too much. Most are in the house looking at TV. But I used to always, since 30 years I'm sleeping in India, I always slept on the roof for 8 months a year. Even now, I sleep on the roof or outside. And I've seen a lot of moonshine. A lot of moons. I've lived many moons. I go back in Indians would measure their age by moons. How many moons are on? 50 moons. Oh, 50 full moons. whatever, 250 full moons. So there's 12 years of 12 and whatever, like that. They measure by full moons. They're cool. Like that. They had cool names. The Indians in America names like Chief Running Bear. Creek Running Bear. And like that. They're real cool names. Pocahontas. There's a famous Indian girl named Pocahontas. They're very long, they almost sound like Sanskrit words. Like American Indians. They weren't Indian, but they're called Indians. So, many times you'll see, you're watching the moon a lot, in the year, there's this moon, there's a ring around it. Like a white line in the sky. That means that some leader around the world has been assassinated. Some king of some country has been assassinated. So there's very, very many omens. So this chapter, what chapter is this? We're chapter 14. It's talking about different omens. Because Arjuna, what happened is that Krishna left the world to Pravasa Kshetra, and he told Arjuna to bring the 16,000 queens to King Parikshit to look after in Mathura Mandal. King Parikshit was in charge over here. Or King Vajranath also. Vajranath. So this is describing all what happened that time. So it says the seasons were in the wrong order. Like it was winter and summertime it was cold, wintertime it was hot. And everybody was working, was full of anger, greed, and cheating. Sounds like nowadays. Dealings were full of deception, and friendships were mixed with cheating. And they were always quarreling and fighting between fathers and mothers, friends, brothers, husbands, and wives. Get down. Get on with it, man. Men were filled with greed. So Arjuna was away in Dwarka for 7 months. While he was gone, in Hastinapur and Delhi, all these negative things were happening. So, of course, Yudhishthira was worried for his younger brother. Panchpandava, Arjuna was away in Dwarka. And he said, my left eye, thigh, and arm are twitching. For a man, this is inauspicious. If it happens in a woman, it's auspicious. Your husband wins the lottery. Their left arm. I don't know. It says the dogs are howling. It's not like for dogs.
It continuously happens.
Every day.
Every day.
Dogs are howling. Horses are crying. Crying horses. That's very well. They're crying horses. The air is hazy. The earth is trembling, it means earthquake. There's dust and wind blowing everywhere. So it sounds like nowadays. The murtis in the temple appear to be crying. That's pretty wild. There was once a movie, there was once what do you call it? A video on the internet about 10 years ago of Jagannath Temple in Punjabi Bagh in West Delhi. The noon offering was there, and the Jagannath Ji was eating. Jagannath Balaram and Subhadra were eating. They closed the curtains, they made a vogue offering at 12 o'clock. They opened the curtains for Artik and Darshan from 12:15 to 1 o'clock. And somebody came for Darshan, and they saw Jonathan. And they filmed it with their camera, and they put it on the internet. And somebody sent it from Delhi. And then some people ran out of the temple, went home, and called their friends, and many people came to the temple and took pictures of it with their phone. For 1 hour, Jagannath Balaram were lunching. It wasn't Photoshop. And so the temple became really popular. Punjabi Bagh, West Punjabi Bagh, ISKCON. It was like a pretty far phenomenon. And you see, the smile is going like, it's moving. I saw it, but I and many people called me from Delhi, my friends that were also. They said it was really true. So everybody, because Indians are very superstitious, so every Indian was coming here making offerings for free food to offer Jagannath, baskets of fruit and kilos of sweets. And my friend was in the temple, he said we had so much fruit we go crazy. We get like 100 kilos of sweets every day. Went on for about 3 months. But only this eating thing was seen one time. So no one can explain to this day. It's just amazing phenomenon. It was captured on film. I saw myself.
Maybe the pujari was a pure devotee.
Right?
Maybe the pujari or who took the offering was a Premi Bhakta.
I don't know what he was, but
But
right.
food also disappeared.
I don't know what I wasn't in Fox News or CNN. I didn't interview them. I just saw the video and I just saw him munching. It sounds hard to believe. They say see is believing. And many people saw it, many people, for a couple hours ago. It's one of those amazing things, we were like, what? Chris is really a person? Birdie's really alive? I don't believe it. Well, you don't believe it, well, you know. I swear. So what else do we have here in 14? There's all kinds of worrying about Arjuna. And then Arjuna finally returns from Dwarka. He's really upset. And then Yudhishthira asks Arjuna what's going on. So look at chapter 15. The Pandavas ascend to the spiritual world. So King Yudhishthira enthroned Parikshit's grandson on the throne. and he went to Maharaj. Arjuna was really upset, and Arjuna gave the news that Krishna left the planet. So you know, imagine how Arjuna felt. So he brought the news back to Yudhishthira. And Arjuna went on to say, remember Krishna and tell Yudhishthira how by the power and blessing of Krishna I defeated so many enemies. I was so successful. Yes. But Krishna was my charioteer. Look on page 480. 480. Arjuna is lamenting. He said, I foolishly engaged Krishna as my charioteer, my chariot driver. Now I was standing on the ground trying to give water to my thirsty horses, and the other Kshatriyas were trying to kill me, but Krishna protected me. There's a nice commentary by Vishnu. He describes about interplay of rasa, page 480. Arjuna, when he remembered Krishna's power, Arjuna's Dasya Bhava appeared. So Arjuna had two Bhavas. He had friendship and servitorship. Generally he's called Arjuna Sakha, the friend of Krishna. But when he remembered Krishna's greatness and protecting him on the battlefield, etc., then he got in the mood of being a servant and thinking Krishna was master. When he remembered Krishna's power in separation from Krishna, the mood of Dasya Bhava appeared. His natural secular, is this thing on? This thing's on. Let me just turn on and off. This
The power is on.
is,
The power is
right.
there. I've just increased the volume.
Right. Yeah, thank you. So, Arjuna, when he was in Dasarati, he felt it was offensive to engage Krishna as his chariot driver. He expressed his regret in his first spoken to Yudhishthira. So when Arjuna got down to give water, he shot an arrow in the ground and brought water out of the ground to give his horses and his chariot. The soldiers on the other side, they were ganging up on him, but Krishna made the soldiers lose their concentration so they couldn't kill Arjuna. So Krishna went out of his way to protect Arjuna. Arjuna is lamenting because he said everybody worships Krishna's liberation. I engaged him as a driver. There's an interesting thing on page 482. Arjuna says, "O Yudhishthira, now now that Krishna is gone, I had no power. I'm a weakling. I was bringing all these queens here as a service to Krishna, bringing his remaining 16,000 queens. I was bringing them to Hastinapur and to take shelter of Parikshit, and I was beat up by some coward men." As the verse said. I was trying to protect the queens on the road, and a bunch of coward men beat me up. But the commentary Vishnu says, Krishna took the form of these coward men and took away all his dear queens so they could enter a Prakriti Lila. Please go on. Krishna says that these queens that were kidnapped by Krishna disguised as cowardly desired Krishna. They desired the form of Krishna that the gopis hunger for. Otherwise, if the queens enjoyed by the Lord were touched by low material persons, they would have immediately disappeared. So it's understood that these queens are very important purpose. These queens attained the form of Braja Gopis in another Prakat Lila. This is described in the Vishnu and Brahma Purana. That's pretty good. They recite a nice Puranic story about this. Long ago, in heavenly planets, some women were praising Ashtavakra. Who's Ashtavakra? You ever been to Kusum Sarovar? What did you see there? You ever went with me? We pointed out a Murti of Ashtavakra on the west bank of Kusum Sarovar. And the guy yelled at us at that time. He said, "Get out of here, it's private property." You weren't there. You didn't go to see Uru in the temple, Uru, Murti of Uru. Who went? You went? You and Ashwin and Gopal.
I only answered because I was not fit.
That's anyway, there's a Murti Ashwakramuni, Didasteri Krishna gave his life. So Ashwakramuni, Ashtavakra means 8 places. His body was bent 8 places. They're like deformed. So these heavenly girls praised Ashtavakra. So he blessed them that Vishnu will become your husband. But then they laughed at him when they saw his funny body. The girls were like that. So then he cursed them. He said, "You'll be taken by thieves. You'll be stolen by thieves." Again, being merciful, Ashtavakra said, after the curse had ended, they would again attain Krishna, who would take the form of thieves. Not being able to avoid the curse and the blessing, they experienced being taken by thieves and taken by the Lord because of this. Since Krishna took the form of thieves, Krishna took the form of thieves and stole the queens of Dwarka. And later, when they gave up that body, they gave up the body in Govardhan. They became gopis and Krishna married. Krishna enjoyed it. Like a gopi. That's right. Interesting story. The thief was Krishna. When they died, then Krishna became their boyfriend. Wow. Always stories and stories. Okay, I think we'll stop there. We'll continue on page 487, chapter 15. So next week, more homework for you not to do, but pretend to do.
Next month.
Yeah, next month actually. Next class we had your card deed. Okay, that's good. See you 1 month more doctor homework. We'll read chapter 15, 16, 17, 15 through 18. Homework not to do.
Not to do.
No, you should try to read it, and then it'll be more familiar. We'll highlight the points in 1 month while the next class. And then Kartik starts next Thursday. Monday is Ekadasi Vrat. Jai Jai Shri Ram.